Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay, it's all right, my friend, because bad times don't last forever. After every storm, there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, that pot of gold, that light in the tunnel, whichever one you prefer, my friend. Please keep in mind that slow and steady wins the race, but most importantly, you got this. Please look back at them bad times, because them bad times had got us to where we need to go, so that we are and can embrace in the new ones, the good, lovely, butterfly, whatever type of moment you want to consider them as. Okay. Alrighty, once again, y'all, hey y'all, what's up, what's poppin'? If you're new here, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this but true to this, hey y'all, what's up, what's poppin'? So y'all, we have reached the second week of August. This is so crazy to me because, like I mentioned, and if you're new here, time is really flying. Time is flying fast. We all have these emotions and stuff wrapped up around us because, once the school year comes up or whatever the case may be, new routines you have, summer slowly but surely dies down, but that heat wave sure doesn't. Okay. So I hope that August, I was ready to say April, y'all. I hope that August has been doing some good deed to you so far. And if not, my friend, we got 2 more Wednesdays to go. Okay, you got 2 more Wednesdays to go. And you've got probably technically 3 weeks to go, because I think Sunday and Monday are full weeks. I think that's a full 5 week. I have to double check, but you still have time. But in the midst of it too, I hope that you guys are celebrating those small wins. Most importantly too, being active and staying productive on what you can do for you, and not letting no outsiders come in your way and try to twist anything around. Okay. And if you're new here too, we have this thing called the weekly newsletter. We are on weekly newsletter 59. And if you're interested in being a part of the newsletter comes out every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time before anything drops. It could be anything I have that I want to drop, you guys will find out about it before anyone else do. And in order for you to get on that, you have to click the link tree in my bio, whichever way you listen or watch me, or follow us on the Vibing with E podcast on Instagram. That's vibing.with-E. And click the link tree, scroll down where you see sign up for weekly newsletter, insert your email. And once you have submitted your email, I will get a notification. And then once that is done, you will get all the weekly newsletters to come. Okay? All right, y'all. So we have reached 59 weekly newsletters, and we're almost at 60. Like, that's so crazy. And I'm super excited. Our theme for this month is still going strong within the reset season, preparing your mind for what's next. Yes, last month we were walking boldly in our steps and stuff, but sometimes we gotta take our foot off the gas and put it back on the brake, because sometimes life be lifing, especially too, like I said, with August being here, and things are slowly but surely coming around and putting a toll and turning things around. We gotta pause and prepare for what's next in our life. Whether you're preparing for something new, you're a parent, whatever the case may be, you got to get it together. So with that being said, as we continue through August and National Wellness Month, I hope you guys are pouring into yourself, no matter how big or small it is. Just please pour into yourself, because your wellness is going to thank you for that in the end. This week's reminder is simple but powerful. Being busy doesn't mean you have to abandon yourself, as y'all can see by today's title. So as school starts back up, work schedules change, responsibilities increase, and life begins moving at a fast pace, it is easy to start saying yes to everything and everyone. Before you know it, your calendar is full, your energy is drained, and your mental health has become the last thing on your list, which is very important. That I love that I found out August is Wellness Month, because these vibes of the day, these conversations are needed, because when we keep protecting everybody else's peace and not protecting ourselves during our busy schedule, what are we doing for ourselves? Nothing. And we're not giving our body that nutrients and sunlight, whatever it needs, that we're giving Susie, Jonathan, and everybody else, which is kind of messed up. But you know, we feel like in our heart, like, yes, I want to do this because they need my help. They need me. But at the same time, you need yourself too. In order for you to dedicate your time and patience to anyone, you have to make sure that you are in the right headspace. You are in the right mind. And before you do that, I got to make sure I'm straight before I pour into anyone else's. You got to protect your peace while things are going on before you can jump out there and try to play captain, save a hero. I want to say Captain Man, but whatever. You cannot always save the day, because you have to make sure your day is productive as well. Okay. So, but your peace, it deserves a place on that list. Like I basically said, protecting your peace doesn't mean avoiding responsibilities. It means learning how to manage them without losing yourself. It means knowing when to say no. Stand on them boundaries. A no is a complete sentence. You don't need to go any further. Open-ended questions is complete sentences. Okay. Knowing when to pause, knowing when you have reached your limit. You know how your parents, mainly the moms, I want to say the moms, the grandmas, aunties, parents, guardians, whatever, when they be like, they had it up to here, when they had it up to here, that's when you know you need to back the hell away. Let them, him, her, they had that moment, because baby, if you don't let them have that moment, they're going to spaz. Okay, especially too, when you know what's for you and what's not for you, when you have it up to here, that's like, okay, I head up to here. If he, she, they don't move, they're going to get it. And you don't want that, because that's where burnout also comes into play as well. But overall, I want you guys to understand that protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's wellness. It's a part of wellness. Like these 3 things I always tell my clients, and I tell you guys and everybody in general, pop up when you want to, be selfish when it's necessary, but most importantly, take control of what matters for you in your life, and whatever the case may be, because you only get one life. You want to do it like it's your B-day every day, even when it's not your B-day. You have to do what's necessary for you, because if not, you're going to be a ticking time ball. If you don't learn to protect your peace and all that stuff, it's going to be like, what the hell? You know, I love people that's able to go out in the world and help someone and do this for someone and do that for someone. But it's like, when was the last time you checked in with yourself and said, am I okay? How are we really feeling? Like, when was the last time you really was like, okay? And like G Herbo said, everything is some new-ish. It is. But do you want that to keep going without tapping in with yourself? Exactly. And that falls into place with the lovely week challenge. So this week, I want you to ask yourself, what is taking more energy from me than it's giving back? It could be a person. It could be your mother, your daddy, your sister, your brother, maybe your own child, your lover, whoever. What is taking more energy from you than it's giving back? This is where you have to play that selfish role real bad and take control. Those 2 in line. And also protecting your peace when it's necessary. And popping out when it's necessary too. Identify that one person, that responsibility, that habit, or situation that has been draining your energy for so long or for a while now. It's like you're ready to throw the towel in, and this is how you're going to do it. Then you're going to decide what boundaries, adjustments, or changes you can make to protect your peace. For example, if your child, you know, parents, guardians out there, I salute you. Sometimes it takes a village to raise a child. It just don't take one, it takes multiple, more than 2 to raise a child. Parents, kin folks, whatever. If your child is taking up more energy from you than you have to, that is giving back, and people that are supposed to be there for you giving them back, this is where you need to be able to sit back and say, okay, who can help me for real? You love your children dearly, yes, but sometimes you need a break too. Moms, dads, parents, foster parents, guardians, whoever. If you're taking care of a child, you need your time too, so you can be able to show up for your child. So you don't have to be, you know, this grumpy old lady, grumpy old troll, whatever, and you feel like, okay, if I don't get myself together, it's not gonna be good. So yeah, We gotta be mindful of that. The responsibilities too. If you got all these responsibilities, something gotta go. And if you keep putting yourself out there to help this person and they not helping you in the back end, let that go. Or a situation that has been draining you, your energy. Advocating is key. Speak up, my friend. Speak up when you want to get rid of that burden. Trust me, I'm learning it still. I'm teaching my clients, my family members. We're all in this together. I'm holding y'all hand real tight when I say that. When I say this, let that situationship go. Let him, her, they go. If it's not really putting any type of effort for you, not my favorite line is, if it's not putting no money in your pocket, or the situations keep getting worse and worse and it's draining you, your health matters. Someone else may be better for you, or this situation is dead. It's been going on for years. You won, you got it. Excuse me, you won, you got it. I'm not doing this no more with you. Whatever it is, then I want you to decide what boundaries are you going to take, the adjustments or the change you can make to protect yourself, because you don't have to fix everything at once. It's impossible to fix everything at once. It takes it one day at a time. But start with one boundary. Whatever it is, start with it. Test it out, play with it, whatever, get it together. Start with one no. If you feel like right now, going back to parents, when your kids, your children spoiled to death, I got experiences because I'm the oldest. And my siblings, you want to be that parent, make sure they're good. No is no. If I'm not in the mood, I've seen my parents be like, not in the mood for stuff, and they say no. And if you say it again, you ask again, baby, you better run or you better duck. And then in general, like sometimes people get heated, even your kids. I know I even give my parents the blues, but it is what it is. Start with saying no if you have to. Now I don't say have to. It's a must to start saying no. And make sure you're saying no and you're being clear on it, and don't let the body language fool nobody or the tone, because people take advantage of you. So we're going to be careful on that. And lastly, start with one moment where you chose your peace. So this week, we're going to identify what is taking more energy than is giving back. It could be a person, it could be responsibilities, habits, or a situation that has been draining you. By doing that, we're going to stand on the boundary. We're going to adjust this, or we're going to change. What can we do to protect our peace? We can't fix all at once. We can start with saying no, and we can also overall, while doing this, doing what's meant for our peace, doing something that we have been wanting to do, impacting to the boundaries that needs to be set for us. Personal, professional life, whatever aspect it is, okay? Because health is wealth, and I promise you, your brain is going to be thankful. Your mind, body, and soul is going to be thankful for when you put yourself first and let Boo Boo, Ray, and Sasha and all them take heed a little bit away from you so you can get back onto who's important right now. Be selfish, pop out when you need to, when you want to actually, but most importantly, take control of what is yours. Okay? All right, y'all. So vibing out with guests. We don't have no guest appearances this week, but that doesn't stop anything. We are still taking one-on-one sessions, group sessions up to 3, and I'm still even eager to do the online interviews. If you have a story, someone that wants to tell a story, or you just want to vibe out, whatever the case may be, come on Vibing Out with Guests, so you can be part of the Vibing Out with Guests community, because as always, your story doesn't have to be perfect to be meaningful. It doesn't at all. Sometimes the conversations we almost don't have are the ones someone needs to hear. And as always, I think the guest that has been on my series that came on there multiple times or so, but in general, I thank you all so much, because you don't know how much of an impact you put on somebody's life. You also put an impact on me, just being able to sit and have these conversations with you guys, because I love using some of y'all stories as examples of what Vibing Out with Guests is all about, showing the blueprint and everything that goes with it. And to the future guests, I cannot wait to see you as well. And overall, to everyone who has supported, like, comment, subscribe, and watch, whatever the case may be, we thank you so much. That goes hand in hand with Vibing Out with Guests and Vibing with E. Okay? And the quote of the week is, protecting your peace isn't about doing less for everyone. It's about refusing to do more than expected of yourself. It's about refusing to do more at the extent, of yourself, but also doing more than you would expect for yourself too. But I digress. As always, stay connected. Follow the podcast page on Instagram at vibing.with.e. And as always, we're going to stay tuned. We're going to keep this jumping, and we're going to get into it. Okay? So, alrighty, guys. Now this is where the nitty gritty comes in. Vibing with E, weekly vibe check where meaningful conversations meet growth and real life connections. Wednesdays drop. Today is Wednesday, August 12, 2026. I'm so thankful and grateful that you guys took the time out your busy day to listen or to watch me whatever time of day you did. Okay. So today's new episode, we have reached 168 episodes. And today's vibe of the day is protecting your peace during busy seasons. Okay, this week's episode is about learning how to protect your mental and emotional wellness when life starts moving fast. We're talking about managing stress, setting boundaries, setting healthy boundaries. Let's put the healthy in there. Realizing when your energy is being stretched too thin, and understanding that being productive doesn't require satisfying your peace for others or anything else. Okay, so in this conversation, we're going to cover deeply into how busy seasons can impact your mental and emotional health, realizing when stress is becoming overwhelming, setting healthy boundaries without feeling guilty about it, protecting your energy while still handling responsibilities, y'all, we said that again. We already said that. Why saying no can be an act of self-care, and lastly, creating boundaries when life feels nonstop. Okay, so this episode is your reminder that you can be committed to your responsibilities without abandoning yourself in the process. Your mind, body, and soul is going to thank you in the long run. Okay, so I'm so glad that you guys are tuned in for an honest and relatable conversation designed to help you move through busy seasons with more balance, intentions, and peace. Okay, so I know that was a lot, y'all. I know, but we got to get this content out because I say it too, and I'm going to keep on saying it. Regardless, men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't lie. Even too, at times, I try not to pay attention to numbers. Regardless, you don't know how much someone is looking forward to your content. So I'm going to say this to you before we continue. If you're a content creator, willing to get into content, whatever the case may be, push that content out. Whatever it is, do it, because you never know who is there to support you, but most importantly, you don't know who's watching you, and you don't know who may need it the most. Regardless if the numbers don't match with the views, the like, whatever, it don't matter. You never know how much of an impact you could put on somebody's life with your content, whatever it is that you have a gift in or want to show the world. Do it, and do it now. Okay? Alrighty, guys, so without further ado, if you're new here, welcome again. And for the OGs, y'all already know what time it is. I want you guys to sit back, relax, enjoy hearing my voice or watching me on YouTube, because as always, every vibe of the day is something special, as well as the wellness lesson. Okay, so I want you guys to turn me up on your PCs, your laptops, your speakers, your phones, car radios, Alexas, Google Dots, whichever way you listen or watch me, because we about to get into it. And this is a deep vibe of the day that I changed the content around. The format is still the same. If you're new here, I break it down within the definition, the 5 W's. I repeat the quote of the week and give the meaning of it, and then I do a thank you for vibing in with me, guys. Little checkout as well. So yeah, this one is going to be a little bit exciting. And I consider all my content, especially the audio and video, as we're having a conversation away from each other, because these type of conversations we have or we may not have, and we really don't deep dive into them. And if you can guess by now, I'm a sucker for deep conversations, and I like to talk about things that impacts with the world around, not because I'm a part of, of the mental health world and things of that nature, but it's needed. Being a human being, mental health is a big thing. I want to say since the pandemic had happened, everyone mental was affected. And that happened, 6-7 years ago or whatever. It's still going on today, even with society and how everything is going. Your mental health matters. Okay? So let's get into it. I'm going to repeat the vibe of the day again, and we're going to go straight into the content. Today's vibe of the day is protecting your peace during busy seasons. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the definition. Sorry, guys. I have put my Stanley on the floor. If you're watching on YouTube, don't y'all see how my Stanley somewhat matches my shirt and my scarf? I don't know. Y'all need to get my hair done, but I made the best out of it because regardless, I'm still going to give you all the content. So let's get into it. Okay, definition. What does protecting your peace during a busy season really mean? When you hear this, what does it really come to your mind when it says, okay, I got to protect my peace during a busy season? What does that really mean? Before we get deep into it, you have to put your foot down. You got to do what's best for you, regardless how big or small it is. Like I said, we identified with this week's challenge. You got to ask yourself, what is taking more energy from me than is giving back? It could be a person, place, a thing, a situation, a responsibility, whatever the case may be. What does it really mean, though, for me to do that? If I got to disconnect from social media, my content, whatever, for a while, do so. If I have to disconnect from my family, whatever, do so. If I have to disconnect from the world, I say do so. I'm gonna hold your hand real tight when I say this, my friend. Regardless of how big or small the issue may be, I don't care, as long as you do what's necessary for you to protect your peace. That's the thing. It could be something that gave you the blues 5 minutes ago. Do what's needed to control your emotions before it gets sky high. And then you don't want record Ralph and burnouts to come into play and all that. Taking control of your mental and everything takes a toll because you didn't do what was necessary within protecting your peace during a busy season, which is now we're in a busy season because things are happening. Kids going to school. You might be going to school. Your routine may be changing. Time is changing. Everything is changing. So you have to be mindful of how you do things and operate them. Okay? So protecting your peace, meaning protecting your peace is learning how to handle everything life is throwing at you without letting everything throw you off. Because let's be real, life doesn't care if you're tired. It don't. The bills still come, work still needs you, school is starting back, family needs something. Your phone keeps ringing and everybody seems to have an opinion about what you should do and what you should be doing. However, protecting your peace doesn't really mean you're ignoring your responsibilities or acting like you don't care. It means knowing when you reach your limit and have enough. You had enough, and you have enough self-awareness to say, I can't keep pouring from an empty cup to pour in somebody else's. Sometimes protecting your peace looks like saying no. Sometimes it turns your phone off. Sometimes it's stepping away from arguments. And sometimes it's admitting I'm overwhelmed. I need a minute. Or my favorite one my students used to say last year is, I'm overstimulated. So you see how the difference on the flow is the content now is like, protecting our peace is meaning to learn everything we're handling in life is throwing at us, but is not allowing us to throw us off. It's like when you drive a car and you're on the road, something like the raindrops come. That's why the windshields are there to help you so you won't throw you off. Now, if you ain't if you ain't quick on your feet, that's how life is going to throw you off. We gotta be real though. Life doesn't care if you get tired, but we still have to be mindful of we have a life. We have one life to live. I still got to do what I got to do. Even with these bills coming, even when work still needs me and school is starting back or I'm going back to school, my family needs something, my phone keep ringing and everybody seem to have an opinion about what I have going on. Yeah, that's good and all. But having that self-awareness to say, I can't pour from an empty cup, that's right there the first step. Or even just saying, look, I need a moment. Or I'm tired of this, whatever it is. Being able to be vocal on when you need to protect your peace during a busy season, like maybe that's going on for you guys now, do so. Don't let nobody or nothing try to chuckle you down. Yes, you still got bills to pay. Yes, you still got to handle these adult things or whatever. But in the midst of it, it never said that you didn't have time to take a deep breath. It never said you didn't have the right to step back when it's needed. It's no handbook or manual to tell you how you need to control your life. No. It's your life. Do it like it's your B-day, but also, too, it's your life. See what you can handle, what you cannot take. Going back to the question I asked, what is taking more energy from you than it's giving back? With this, too, with protecting your peace during a busy season, like I said, bills, they still gonna come regardless. They have payment plans, all that. Work still gonna need you, but baby, you have them wellness days and stuff. Take it. School starting back up, your kids need to be together, or you starting school, whatever the case may be. Family always needs something, but you have the right to turn your phone off. You have the right to disconnect, and most importantly, you have the right to say no. No is a complete sentence. Be able to advocate for yourself and be vocal and stand 10 toes down. Like, look, it's a busy season coming around. Well, I'm in a busy season right now, whatever the case may be. But in that process, I want you to keep in mind that taking control matters of your well-being. Popping out when you want to and being selfish when it's necessary. And don't let nothing or no one try to dictate you. Okay? Next, who is impacted and who needs this message the most? Who's impacted? Everyone is impacted when it comes to you need to protect your peace during a busy season. And who needs this message the most? Everyone, from teenagers, young adults, everyone, older adults, everybody, because life be life, and we even need to teach the younger generation about protecting their peace and their boundaries, because self-awareness is needed so you won't get sucked up into doing things for people as people please it and having them naysayers in your ear trying to dictate what you can do for yourself. So this message is for the person who is everybody's go-to person, but doesn't know whom to call on when your life is falling apart. Let's take a moment and think about that. Escape. Who can I run to? I want you to have that moment to yourself. Y'all, if you're new here, I love thinking about a song or any media creativity thing that impacts with the content, such as music, movie lines, actors, whatever. And when I was doing this research and putting together with this part, when it says this message is for the person who is everybody's go-to person but doesn't know whom to call on when their life is falling apart, the song Escape, Who Can I Run To, automatically came to my mind. Because I've been through this before. Yes, you have your parents or whatever, but sometimes it's like, who else can I run to besides them because they have stuff going on? That's why I went to therapy. Because when you always somebody's go-to person, it's like, okay, I got, G Herbo said it, every day some new shit. It is. Every day something new. These people that are blowing my phone up every day, they keep on calling me. Think for a minute. Are you able to call them when you in need? And some of the people that they used to call me like 24/7. I was like, I know good and damn well I can't call them when I need something. Because they think because I went to school to be a social worker and I'm doing this therapy, life coaching type of work, as they would say, God's work, that I'm fine. Who told you that? What book that you read that it said E is fine because she's living her life? Hell no. E is a human being too. Even though E took that career path to help others in need. Yes, I did. And I'm standing tall on that. But I have my own issues too. I'm learning to protect my peace during a busy season. With that being said too, going back to the question again, I'm going to keep referring to this question, y'all, because it impacts with who is taking more energy away from you than you're giving back. Sometimes I had to distance myself from people. It didn't have to be a person. It was people I had to disconnect myself to. Certain responsibilities that I knew for a fact that somebody else could pick the slack up, I had to get back from. Situations that didn't even, it's like situations that happened minutes ago, a long time ago. Yes, you have the right to vent about it, my friend. You have the right to say what you got to say. But it's like when enough is enough, I'm like, I'm done. I threw the towel in. And that's what I've been mindful of. That also impacts with too, for ones whoever's impacted with this and who needs this the most. It's the person person juggling work, school, kids, relationships, family drama, friendships, finance, and trying to maintain some type of social life while mentally running on 2%, it is the person who keeps saying I'm good because they don't want to explain what's really going on. It's also for people who feel guilty when they say no because they're used to being the dependent one. Before we get to the last part, y'all, I want y'all to understand this. Everything I just talked about is that people pleasing. So we talked about, you everybody's go-to, or somebody that's everybody's go-to. But when your go-to is going through shit, are you able to reciprocate the same energy, love, tenderness, care that your go-to person gave to you to them in return when they need it? It's like that saying, when you have them friends or that family member, or that person, even your coworker or whoever, that's always in a good mood, those some people you need to check on the fucking most. Because underneath all that excitement and that mask, baby, they going through some stuff. They're going through some shit. They are. And in the way that they keep that poker face on, at times it gets to a point where, like, can I keep on doing this? Am I able to keep doing this? So that's why I'm really big on empathy and compassion is a big thing. Be there for someone. Give someone some type of break in the process, but also too, stop being quick to judge people. You can't judge a book by its cover until you took the time to open the book up and read it and get an insight of it. If you don't like it, close that book and put it back where you got it from. It's like with people. First introductions are key. That's why you start off as associates. Y'all don't jump into friends, best friends, relationships, and hell, get married. You learn this person. And if you feel like this person may not be for you, okay, their 30-day or their 30-day or 3-month trial is over. It's okay. We human. Maybe right now is not the time for you and them. Or maybe the vibe didn't clash. Whatever it is, long as you tried. Long as you try. But within this, the person that's juggling them kids, them children, school, work, family drama, family issues, friendships, finances, and you still trying to maintain a social life while you only got 2% of mental health running. My friend, I'm gonna hold your hand real tight when I say this. I was ready to say block everybody. Put everybody on mute. Put that phone on D&D or whatever. Take that day or moment to just feel like, you know what? Peace is needed and required in life. It's times where people be like, I can't do the peace, it's too quiet. But my friend, you gonna wish you had that peace and quiet. Because when Boo Boo, Ray, Lisa, and all them come around, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, when is quiet going to happen? That's why you need to step on this right now of protecting yourself in a busy season, because you have control of your life. But most importantly, you have control over, to go back to the question again, what is taking more energy from me than it's giving back? If you keep pouring into everybody else and it's having your ass to have 2% of your mental health, the scale is already messed up. Going back to last week's vibe of the day when we talked about checking in with yourself before you check in with everybody else, going back to that scale, that's what you need to do. That impacts with too, protecting your peace during this busy season. We got to tap in and check in with ourselves too to see, okay, mentally, my stuff is on a 2. Physically, I'm up, but I'm tired as hell. So that's a 3 or 4. Mentally, I'm just like, going back to that 2. Emotionally, I'm gonna explode. And when you see if anything is under 5, because 5 is the middle. Everything under 5, that's when you need to take a reality check and say, you know what? I need a break. I'm throwing in the towel in. Matter of fact, don't even announce it. It's like when people on social media, they announce and they going ghost. My friend, I be sitting there like, baby, you ain't had to tell the world, because half of these people don't care, because they gonna talk about you like a dog anyway. You go ghost. You have nothing to owe nobody or obtained on why you had to distance yourself. You're human. Your mind, body, and soul is going to thank you for pouring into yourself before you kept pouring into everybody else. Check with yourself. Check in with yourself before you check in with everybody else. Protect your peace during this busy season in your life, because I'm telling you, after August, life gets busy. September, October, November, December, holiday time, people working, trying to get extra hours, whatever the case may be. This is a busy season. And this shit get real. You can't keep worrying about everybody. That's why it's very important too. If you keep telling people you good, I understand sometimes you gotta fake it. But going back to last week too, Ask yourself the question, how are you really feeling? How are you really feeling? And also ask yourself, okay, I feel this way, but now what is taking my energy? What's taking up more of my energy that I know for a fact is not giving, I can't get back into myself? Who, when, what, where, why, whatever it is, you have to do for you. And stop people please everybody else, because I guarantee you, Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, Dawn, all of them is not going to do the same thing. And if so, they probably doing not a good job because they don't know how to be empathetic and compassion and have compassion. It's a learning thing, but you got to keep in mind, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And it's okay to admit that I'm overwhelmed. I need a minute. I'm overstimulated, whatever. Your voice matters because your mental matters. It does. And lastly, on this topic or this question, let's be honest. Sometimes the pressure to be there strong all the time, that sometimes there's pressure to be strong all the time. You will hear this a lot within men, but baby, this is for everyone, regardless if you're a man, woman, whatever you want to identify as. It's hard as hell to stay strong for everybody, as well as be that go-to person. Hell, I got my own shit going on. I could be strong in so many different ways, but right now I need to break. Like Tony Braxton said, I got to breathe. Please back up off of me. She had to breathe, so let her breathe. That's what I'm telling you. Let them go do what they gonna do. They can call you all types of names, but you doing what's best for you. You ain't gonna sacrifice being around them because they feel like you're not giving them the satisfaction. I don't give a crap, and you shouldn't either. Do what's necessary for you, because let's be honest, sometimes there's pressure to being strong all the time. You can be the one everybody depends on and still need somebody to check up on you. You can love your family and still need boundaries. Hello, your friends, family, relationship, whatever the case may be, even your job, boundaries are needed. You cannot be there for everybody else because you need to be there for yourself. You can care about your friends and still not have the capacity to answer every phone call. Take it from me. And I feel like with me, grief really opened my eyes a lot with that, because sometimes it's like, well, for me, in the midst of when my uncle had passed, it was scary to hear the phone ring, because I heard the phone had rung when my mother had got the call. It scared the hell out of me, and it still does. Sometimes you need to breathe. You don't have to be there for everyone, because everyone's not going to be there for you. Protect your peace. Check in with yourself before you check in with everybody else as well. Being available to everybody doesn't mean you have to abandon yourself. Lastly, within this part, when it says who's impacted, who needs this message the most importantly, being available to everyone doesn't mean you have to abandon yourself. Yes, you the go-to person, you there, but set the limits. For me, with my job right now, we're working from home or whatever. Our job, the company opens at 9. We ends at 6. Sometimes I extend it to 7 if I got the time to. But now it's like, I got to cut my boundaries because I'm home. I'm working from home, yes. But after hours, once that's done, whatever I ain't see or answer, you're going to get an answer or response to me tomorrow. No later than 48 hours. But you got to stand on 10 toes on your boundaries, and don't let no man or woman try to dictate you or tell you acting selfish or whatever. Protect your peace, pop out when it's necessary, and most importantly, take control of your life, because you only get one life. Love on it, appreciate it, and care for it, because your mind, body, and soul, I guarantee you, is going to appreciate you more for you pouring into yourself before you have to pour in somebody else's cup. And they're going to be thankful that you checked in with yourself before you checked in with everybody else, and you're protecting your peace during any season in your life, regardless if it's busy, slow, whatever the case may be. Okay? What is the benefit? What is the benefit of protecting your peace during a busy season? And what happens when you actually protect your peace? When you start protecting your peace, you stop allowing every situation to have unlimited access to your emotions. You become more intentional about what you deserve, your attention, and simply doesn't. And what simply doesn't? You start realizing that everything doesn't need a response. Every argument doesn't need your participation, and every problem isn't yours to solve. Going back into checking yourself before you check in with everybody else. All that stuff. Once you stop, take a step back, fade away from the crowd, When you start protecting your peace, you stop allowing every situation or everybody's situation, whatever the case may be, to have unlimited access to your emotions. You become more intense about what needs your attention and what simply doesn't. Who you give your attention to, who you don't. Your time, effort, all that. Most importantly, you start to realize everything don't need a response. I know it's hard as hell, y'all, because I'm still learning at times too. Even with your own family, sometimes you got to give them a good cuss out or a good 1-2, hit her like, checkmate, mother. Who are you talking to? You got to give them a little, like, who are you talking to? Simply, the best thing for you to do as a bigger person is don't need a response. Walk away. Every argument doesn't need your participation. Meaning that if homegirl or homeboy, whoever, they fussing with people, they add you in there. Don't add me in it. I don't know nothing about it. This your fight. Don't put me in it because I ain't with it. It's not for me. And every problem you can't solve. It felt like you should be able to, but you can't. Take it from me. In this world, as being a social worker, life coach, mentor, all those things with my clients, I hope and pray that I can help them before I think, I can solve it. That's the job. I'm here to hold you accountable, as well as within my podcast world. I'm here to hold you accountable. I'm holding your hand when I say it real tight. Get it together. Protect your peace in this busy season. And most importantly, before you do anything, check yourself. Before you check anybody else. And speaking of last week's vibe of the day, check yourself also came from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, well, Love and Hip Hop in general, when they would check back the clips and they'll check back at the little snippets or whatever. Yeah, that's another thing too. So before you do anything and all these things, check yourself. Because also when you do that, you also create more room for yourself. Instead of consistently reacting to everybody else's emergencies and emotions and expectations, you can focus on your own mental health and responsibilities. You may still have stressful days. Every day the sun won't shine. That's why you're supposed to love tomorrow. Bad times don't last forever. After every storm, there is a rainbow, if you can see it or not. But you're not carrying everybody's stress on top of your own. That's one thing to think about. We're going back to it. You may still have your stressful days. Granted, yes. But look at the bright side too, which is kind of not, but it is. Even though you're going through your stressful days, think about it. You're not carrying Susie, Lizzie's, Ron, and Quan's stress on top of your own. That's the difference between being responsible and being emotionally overwhelmed. And they're probably like, damn, you really got some deep content going. Yes, because you halfway. I felt like, I was being real soft in the social worker way. No, I'm going to give it to you real hard and encore. This is what you need to know, especially within this part. When should someone realize they need to protect their peace? Now let's talk about it. It's a few more areas up in here. Usually I have 6 or 5. No, I got them and they go straight to the point. When you're irritated by everything, even that's normally wouldn't bother you, check yourself. This is where peace is needed. You don't want anybody calling, texting, or asking you for anything. Protect your peace. You're obligated to answer your phone when you want to. This is a paid phone, not a play phone. Play with your mother, like they say. But no, for real, this is a paid phone. You're paying for this phone. You don't want anybody playing on your phone. You're obligated to answer whoever and do whatever. When you realize you need to protect your peace, do so. Trust me, y'all, it takes me a minute to answer the phone text message. It takes me a minute. Because sometimes I can't go right away. Life happens. I got life too. I work. I got to do what I got to do to make this money. But not even just the money part. I need to be sane and healed and whatever the case may be. You constantly saying you're tired. That's a big one. If you constantly saying you're tired, my friend, that right there meaning you don't have a good hygiene routine. And everybody think of hygiene as like, body odor and stuff. No, hygiene impacts with sleep too. We're supposed to get at least 8 hours of sleep. I try to get at least 7. No little than 6. But to the doctors, everybody, it's at least 8 hours of sleep. You feel guilty every time you say no. My friend, I don't care who it is, your mother, father, sister, brother, granny, uncle. You can't always be there for everyone. You cannot be everybody's superhero. You cannot be everybody's secretary, manager, all that. You need a life too. You can say no, especially too if they can do it themselves and they just need a guidance to do so. But you can't do it for them. You can't do the work for them. You give them the tools that's needed. So if you feel guilty every time you say no, that's a problem. And I need you to check in with yourself because I want you to put yourself in the other shoes. If you were going through it, do you think they would say yes to you? And if so, is it a genuine yes or no? You are overwhelmed by keep accepting more responsibilities. First of all, my friend, you're not a superhero. Well, you are a superhero. Okay, you are a superhero, but you're not the superheroes we watch on TV. We're not Spider-Man. We're not Superman. We're not the Incredible Hulk. We're not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're not Superwoman, the actual Superwoman. No, we are superheroes to someone, yes, but we're not the fiction superheroes where they can handle everything. Like The Incredibles, perfect movie too. Like how the mom was able to handle all this stuff, juggle all that stuff. It's impossible. Sometimes I wish I had so many arms like an octopus, but I can't. That goes to show at times you can only take what you can bear and take away stuff that you need to probably spare away. I probably said it wrong, but take what you can bear. Sow reap what you sow. You can't take but so much. And don't fill your plate up if you know for sure you're not that hungry. Don't put so much on your plate to fool yourself when you know in reality, I didn't need that steak. I didn't need that steak and that lobster together, knowing good and well I'm really not a lobster type of girl. I seen it because I want it. No. Know for sure what you can take and what you cannot take. It's like responsibilities. You cannot always be there for everybody else. Help, yes, but taking on all these responsibilities, hell no. You're always available for everyone, but rarely have time for yourself. That stops today. If you feel like I'm always there for him, he's never there for me. My friend, right now, right here, right now, I want you to stop. You need to stop. You need to take a moment to backtrack and think of the question again. What is taking more energy from me than is giving back? When you're always available for somebody, but you rarely have time for yourself, and if they don't have it for you, vice versa, cut all ties right now. Slowly, politely. But if it gets cranked, if it's about to be a girl fight, do what you need to do. Respectfully, be the bigger person though. Small situations are starting to feel huge. My friend, if it's something so little and you know good and well your emotions through the roof, don't even sign up, don't even ask, don't even pucker your lips up to say you could do it. Because if you know that's eating you up alive, back that behind all the way up to the wall. Lastly, we got 3 more. This is the third one. You're snapping at people you actually care about. If they ain't do nothing to you, don't be snappy. Trust me, I had that experience earlier. Last week. Again. Because when you're in the heat of the moment and we snap, we snap. But we forget too, because in the moment we're venting and getting it out, but also too, the tone might come off like, oh, you talking about me. You snapping at me. No, that's why you got to be very careful too when you vent. Like, can I vent? It's not about you. It's not towards you. I'm just upset. Second to last. You're scrolling social media and comparing your life to everybody else's. I be damned if I hear or see you compare your life to somebody else's life. Social media is a place where anybody can do anything and be anything they want. The real is somebody post their business all day long. And someone's a mystery when you be like, I wonder if he or she got a partner. They got kids. Me, on my social media, my main page, I post what I want to post. When I want, how I want, and why I want. You can assume all goddamn day long if whatever's going on. It's like that post too. People be like, you don't know if I'm single. You don't know if I'm in a relationship. You don't know if I'm broke. You don't know if I got money. You don't know if I'm tricking. You don't know if I'm being tricked on. You don't know. Because if I don't say it, you don't know. You gotta leave your life a mystery. Everybody cannot have access to your life. Life has to be a mystery. It's like a mystery mouse tool from Mickey Mouse. You have to leave a mystery because the moment you give everyone your access to you, That's where it's like, okay, girl, I know all whoever, I know all your business. And then when you're comparing yourself to others' life, to everybody else's life on social media or in real life, that's a problem. Just because he or she got that car before you did doesn't mean anything. Look on the bright side. Baby, you went to school. You don't know if they went to school and got all the many degrees. If they got a kid and got married before you, okay. But look at the bright side. You got out of a toxic relationship 2-3 years ago, and now you're dating a person that makes you feel whole again. Gotta stop competing when you can't compare, because you don't know what they did or how they did it to get to where they are. See, this conversation is a little bit deeper too, because it's needed to understand. And lastly, you haven't had a genuine moment with yourself in a few days or weeks. You haven't really had time to reflect and have that mirror conversation like, self, we got some things we need to uncover, need to unpack, whatever the case may be. With all that said, sometimes your attention isn't your attitude or the attention isn't the problem. Sometimes you're exhausted. And instead of juggling, but also mainly judging yourself for being overwhelmed, you may need to ask yourself, what have you been carrying? Going back to the question again, what is taking more energy from you than it's giving back? Think about it. We almost there, y'all. Now, this is the real nitty gritty I like too. Where does this show up most in life? Where does protecting your peace shows up most in life that can become especially important when dealing with the first one we have on here is your family. Where does showing up Where did it show up most importantly in your life with protecting your peace during a busy season or any season in general? Family, loving people who may not always respect your boundaries. Mom, dad, sister, brothers, cousin, whatever, whoever you're close with, they don't respect your boundaries. That's cool. Love them from a distance. Relationships, trying to communicate without consistently fighting or over-explaining yourself. It gets to a point. I fought hard. I'm not finna keep fighting and over explaining myself. My actions speak louder than my words. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, then that's on you. Friendships, realizing that everybody who has access to you doesn't deserve unlimited access. I don't care if y'all are best friends, y'all been friends since y'all were in pre-K. I don't care if your mother and their mother been friends since y'all were kids, before y'all even exist. You're still human, regardless of the title. You have a life. They have a life. Because think about it. You can't call them in the middle of the night. So what the hell thinks that they are allowed to call you in the middle of the night? I don't think so. Work. Being expected to be 100%. Being expected to be performed at 100% while mentally and emotionally exhausted. First and foremost, y'all, work is a place where, yes, you have the qualifications or whatever, you're making the money for it, but every day is not going to be a good day. Every day you're not going to give your 100%, especially too, if you mentally, physically, emotionally, all that messed up, you did the scale is under 5, you definitely know you're not going to do that. And one thing I had a problem was when I had frustration days or whatever, I put all that frustration into my work, but it also can triple on you too. It could be a good thing or a bad thing because it can help you, but then sometimes it's not, because you're still going to take that mess home with you. So keep in mind, yes, you're a good worker, but sometimes even the good workers have bad days. Even your boss, even the CEOs, head people in charge, everybody has bad days, regardless of the title and how much money they make. Work and life be life. School, balancing academics, social life, responsibilities, and expectations. From a person that went to school so long, has been in school since she was 4 years old, 3.5 to 4 years old. Baby, you better balance that academics as much as you can. Social life, baby, is going to come, it's going to go. But be mindful of who you want in your social life and who you want and who you don't. Responsibilities, what you can take, what you cannot take, how much you may have to put back or take in. And expectations. Your expectations for school may be good or some it may not. But be mindful and stand 10 toes down on everything you have. You got this. Take it one day at a time from your fellow grad student who is enjoying life after post-grad. Social media, watching everybody else's highlight reels while questioning your own life. Going back to you can't compete when you can't compare. That's where peace involved. I'm not competing and comparing with your life. I don't care if you're my aunt. I don't care if you're my cousin. I don't care if you're my grandmother. Okay, you out on the yacht doing whatever you do. That's your business. You got the time and money for it. I have the time and money. I have the money for it too, but time is everything. If I have the money, but right now that money can go towards bills besides me going on a yacht and going to the club, whatever every night. There's levels and boundaries to everything we do in life. I can't do what you do, and you can't do what I do, and you're gonna stop. That's why I watch people stop. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm not comparing like, dang, I wish I could do that. How could I? No. Everybody has their own niche, and your niche is different from him, hers, theirs, whatever. Everybody's niche, lifestyle is different, as well as finance. Carrying financial stress while trying to function like everything in life is normal. No, babe, take it from me. I was in school for 5.5 years. And through those years, I had 2 jobs. When one couldn't really help what I needed, you get another job. It's sacrifices. But at times too, if that doesn't work, get a new job that maybe can help combine both of them checks together. Carrying that financial stress can have you in a place that's burned out and most importantly, stressed out to death. Heart attack and all that. You don't want that. And most importantly, lastly, yourself. Sometimes the biggest pressure comes from the expectations you put on yourself. We are our biggest critics. We want us to do this and do that, but we never sit back and appreciate the small things that we have done for ourselves. That's why I say celebrate them small wins in the beginning, the middle, the end of your journey, because you don't know how much of an impact that this has put on your life that you need to celebrate and honor yourself. If no one else is going to give you that applause, baby, don't look for nobody else's applause. Applaud yourself and be thankful and grateful for how far you have come. Okay? Peace isn't just something you need when life is falling apart. Hell no. Peace needs to be a part of your life. The moment you feel like it's getting hot in here, distance yourself and say, you know what? I gotta find me a peace of mind. I think Lauryn Hill said it. I gotta find me a peace of mind. Find it today, my friend. If you know a friend, tell a friend that they going through whatever. Find that peace of mind. Now, peace needs to be a part of how you live your life. Okay? Lastly, y'all, this FaceTime/phone conversation, I know it got y'all like, dang, you really going in. It is because this is what needs to be done. I'm meeting you where you are, but I'm also telling you this is a serious matter. Okay? Why is it important? Why is it important to protect your peace during a busy season or any season? Why do we have such a hard time protecting our peace? Let me tell you why. Because many of us were taught that being strong means handling everything. When I did this, I said, yeah, first thing that comes to mind, because men can relate to this heavily. When a man is going through whatever in his life, depression and all that ain't nothing. That's nothing. They feel like they ain't got no feelings. Yes, the hell you do. Especially if you cross me and you vent. And I'm like, hold up. When was the last time you really had that mirror conversation with yourself to be like, I got something going on? Because many of us were taught that being strong means handling everything while under pressure. Even women, superheroes, or whatever you identify yourself is, them gender roles plays a big impact too of who we are today. Because if you were raised in a household or around people that say, being strong means you had to handle everything, you can push through it. You figure it out. You don't complain. You take care of everybody. You keep showing up even when you're running on empty. And And then when you run on empty and stuff, those people that you were there for will be the last people to even check up on you. You got to be mindful and careful of how much you pour into someone if they're not pouring it into you. Take it from me. I seen it with my parents, with certain friends, with certain people I was working with. Even myself, you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot worry about everybody else before you don't worry about yourself. Check yourself before you check in with everybody else and everything. Protect your peace through every season of your life, because if not, who's going to? But consistently surviving isn't the same as being well. Being in survival mode, I'm a survivor. We are all survivors. But if I survive and I don't give myself the same thing with being well, I'm screwed. We're screwed, my friend. Mental health requires us to realize when we're overwhelmed instead of waiting until we're completely burnt out. Once you're burnt out, it's hard as hell to get rid of it. It is. You're stuck. You're miserable. You're like a zombie. That's why it's important for you to protect your peace. Permits you to acknowledge you're human before you're a priority. You don't have to provide your strength by suffering in silence. You don't have to stay in every argument. You don't have to explain every boundary. And you strongly but surely, you don't have to feel guilty because you finally decide to protect the person who has been carrying everything. You, Y-O-U, you. Let's say that again. You don't have to explain every boundary. And for one thing's for certain, two things for sure, you don't have to feel guilty because you finally decided to protect the peace. But the person who has been carrying everything, you. Mind blowing, right? I know. But I thank you all so very much because we have made it to the end. I hope you guys have enjoyed this phone call / this FaceTime, because I want you to keep in mind. Today, I want you to really ask yourself, am I busy or am I overwhelmed? Because there's a difference. You can have goals and still need rest. You can love people and still need boundaries. You can still be ambitious and still say, not today. You can be strong and still admit that you're tired. This season, don't just ask yourself what needs to get done. Ask yourself what needs to change so you can get through it without losing yourself. Protect your peace, protect your energy, protect your mental health, because everybody deserves access to you, but everyone does not deserve unlimited access to you. Okay? And as we exit out, going back to the quote of the week, protecting your peace isn't about doing less for everyone. It's about refusing to do more at the extent of yourself. That means managing stress, setting healthy boundaries, and protecting your energy as life becomes busier. I was about to say, even as the torch, whatever, burns out, you got to protect your peace at all costs. Okay? Once again, I thank you all so very much for tuning in. I hope you guys really learned a few important points for this, because this one's hard and uncool. This one was really hard and real uncut and uncool. I like this. I think I need to start typing like this some more when I give it to y'all, because this had me felt like, okay, I love giving y'all the real wholesome, cute, soft side, but this is the hardcore side. I'm meeting you where you at. Like, look, we're really having a conversation now because I'm using the lingo and everything you hear within the real world. Okay, but on that note, I really hope you guys appreciate it. Most importantly, stay in the loop of protecting your peace before or during a busy season, but most importantly, check in with yourself before you check in with everybody else or everything else. Okay, I love you all so very much. Please be safe out here. Stay hydrated. Do it like it's your B-Day. But most importantly, ask yourself that question. What is taking more energy from me than it's giving back? And how am I going to protect my peace during a busy season or any season at all? Okay? Until next time, beautiful people. Bye.